now we're making our way back across, doing a retreat. No, not the whole way, but we're making our retreat. It's probably going to go a lot slower than how it was on the way here. We had a lot more energy probably, but we're making our way back from, as you can see the angle, back to the Virginia Monument. We are going straight down this hill, right through the cornfield. You see it right ahead of me? Boom, right there.
Can we get across to her?
Yep. There's a hole in the line. I know, because it was at an angle.
Yeah.
And it went right through that cornfield. You see it?
I do. Oh, there's one over there too.
So, the retreat back to the Virginia Monument. Yeah, that thing. Way off in the distance. Over about a mile away. Can you believe that we did that, Zach? What was that?
Thumbs up.
Zachary was like, I'm never doing this again. That was horrible.
That wasn't horrible at all.
I rather enjoyed it. Good exercise. My wife would be proud. Becky, that's a shout out to you, by the way. But yeah, making our retreat back slowly, feeling defeated, tired, exhausted.
I don't feel defeated or tired or exhausted. Got some allergies going on.
But yeah, the Confederate retreat here. I wasn't saying we were necessarily feeling tired and defeated, just for the record. I was just saying they would be feeling that way. So you can imagine you're still under fire, but they're not going to fire as much into your backs. They're like, okay, they're already running, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're just dealing with the stuff that's going on up here, dealing with the hand-to-hand fighting and any other people willing to surrender, probably. They're not worried about the guys turning their backs on. They're like, oh well. They're wounded or getting by the skin of their teeth, so they're just like, they're probably going along here slow. They're probably not running like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, probably walking back.
They're walking back because they're just feeling defeated and tired. But imagine knowing that you went all the way across this field. I have a lot more appreciation for that now. Having walked across the field, imagine getting all the way over to this side. And then realizing not only did you not take this as a whole company, your whole side didn't win, but you got to walk back across this field just to get back to your camp. That's frustrating. Not to mention you're thinking about all the guys you lost next to you. I mean, this is, let me put it in this way. Pickett, when he had to talk to Lee after the battle, he asked him, he says, Pickett, reform your division and pretty much line up behind the trees, I might send you back out. And Pickett's response, General Lee, I have no division. Tells you everything you need to know. That wasn't just for the Gettysburg film. That's true. It's actually recorded. He said that. I have no division, General Lee. I have no division.
Some of those folks might have meet up later, or let's just say they kind of.
Well, the South always
story
stood.
might have grown over time.
Maybe, but why would the South want to glorify the fact that they had no division?
Well, they're dramatizing.
Maybe.
They might not have said exactly that. We don't really know.
Well, they wrote it in their thing.
Yeah.
Their account. You never know.
It could be.
They're making a long walk back to Seminary Ridge, from Cemetery Ridge. That's assuming that your whole company and your brigade and your corps made it all the way over. Some probably didn't make their whole their whole brigade or their whole regiment didn't even make it across the whole field. Some of them may have only made it to the Gettysburg Road behind us before they had to turn back. So yeah, they're I'd be feeling pretty dejected right around now. I'm tired. I mean, you got through 3 days of battle here. I mean, Pickett had fresh legs, sort of. He had been bivouacking, which means for just protecting the flank way outside of Gettysburg to the northwest. Okay. General idea. And he was northwest of Gettysburg. He was ordered by Longstreet finally to come in and get into position. He was supposed to be here in the morning of July 3rd and be in a position down to the south. Lee he decided overnight that he wanted to do another assault on the Union left flank over by Little Round Top over here with Hood and McLaws again. He said, oh, we'll hit him again. This time they'll be weaker. And with Pickett. But Longstreet never sent the order to have Pickett go across, and get to Gettysburg overnight. Instead, Pickett camped all night and never came here. But first thing in the morning at dawn, Longstreet wakes up or wherever he was doing. Finally, Lee says, where's Pickett? And Longstreet pretty much says, oh, I'll go get him. So he sends out a courier to let them know to hurry and get into position on Seminary Ridge. Because at this point, he's ticked off. But he says, I have a new plan. Let's hit the Union Center. So, funny how things change when you don't have the right guys in position to do what they're supposed to do. Yeah, decide, well, I was going to do this. Let's do this more suicidal thought.
Longstreet was known for taking his time to get.
I'm being a little harsh when I say it's a suicidal thought, but that's what it looked like afterwards. It looked like a disaster from everyone that's read it afterwards, in my opinion. But if you think about it, it made sense. Both flanks had been reinforced. The left flank of the Union and the right flank. The right flank was the Culp's Hill fishhook. The other end of the fishhook down by Big Round Top and Low Round Top, which you see over there in our corner down there, were reinforced. So I thought they must be weak in the center. So, center he charged towards with over 12,000 troops. I mean, sounds like a good plan,
Against 7,000 Union troops, so.
Yeah, but as they said, we hadn't mentioned this, but, maybe this is dramatized too, but there's accounts that say after the battle, as they're retreating, they're saying, Fredericksburg, to remind them that they had the wall this time, and they stood.
Yeah.
As we all know, Fredericksburg was a disaster for the Union going across the long field under similar conditions.
But the plan looked good. It was supposed to start earlier. There's supposed to be, I think, attacks around the same time. There's a cavalry attack that was going on in the rear of the Union that was supposed to cause some disruption. And especially the artillery barrage, the cannon fire from the Confederates was supposed to knock out the Union cannon fire on.
Yeah, there's supposed to be cannons all along here.
On Seminary Ridge.
Yeah.
They're supposed to knock out the cannons, but the Confederates shot too high. They had ineffective fire. It was hard for the Confederates to gauge the effectiveness of it. And they simply did not have enough ammunition, which seems to have been a pretty common problem, is them running out of ammunition.
Yeah.
So, and then just the idea of going across a mile terrain like that, exposed, just was too much. That, and especially because that Union cannon fire was still very effective. Yeah.
I didn't notice this before, but we'll see if we still have time to do it. Down to our left down there, we had talked about possibly seeing the Longstreet observation tower. It might be too dark by the time we get over there.
I think we probably went
over there. There we go. But yeah, gives a good sense of Longstreet's observation, or there about on Seminary Ridge where he was posted nicely and safely behind these woods on Seminary Ridge. As you can see, we're finally almost back to the Virginia Monument. We're past the Gettysburg farm quite a ways. Probably got about another
Well, we still gotta turn
a third of a mile still left to go.
Well, we still have to turn back this way.
Yeah, but that fence line wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But
We're almost there.
for the record, it took us 26 minutes to get across. We're about the 10-minute mark. We may have done better in retreat than we did on our charge.
Well, we kept stopping, so.
A little bit. Not too bad. A little sweaty.
Yeah.
Got some good exercise today, man.
Yep.
Working off this this belly we got going on here. Yeah, it's ugly. Ugh. Those flies taste good, don't they? For everyone else that saw that, I'm sorry. I'm a pig. Did you say Josh?
Yeah.
You
Some kind of like fence, like. See that?
Oh, I'll tell this after
There's
a charge.
a post over there.
I do see it. I wonder if that's how they water or something.
Maybe.
Or maybe it's a gas line. Who knows? I don't know why I just
don't
went in the
think
middle of a
so, 'cause
field.
I haven't seen the other one, so.
But we'll tell you this after a charge like this, even if you're feeling demoralized and all that, I would tell you it definitely works up an appetite. You're like, man, I'm hungry. I mean, but them, they probably wanted to vomit, probably, because they're seeing all this bloodshed everywhere. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they're probably getting back, just give me a canteen, man. I'm thirsty. Let me cry a little. Right? Yeah. So we're getting to our, I think, second to last oblique here. Almost done with our retreat. You give credit to these Virginia, Tennessee, Mississippi, Southern boys. Virginians, the motherland. Sorry, we grew up. Just in case we were unclear, we grew up in the state of Virginia. My wife says grew up is a bit of an exaggeration because I was 5 and Zachary was 7, but you know, I do think of myself lately as a Southern boy. But to be honest, I was only around kindergarten, so Southern boy isn't exactly put it right. She says,
look like they plowed.
my
It
wife
looks like
says,
they tilled these fields somehow.
I grew up in New York, so
You see
I'm a northern boy,
tractor,
but
tractor. Looks like they till these fields here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
I wonder if they like circulate, like rotate the fields. So some years they'll put crops in some places, some they'll put crops in others.
I don't know. I'm sure we could do research on it at some point.
I do think it probably keeps them fertile.
You can actually see the Tennessee monument over there, as well as the North Carolina monument right there. See it? Yeah. So that's where we were earlier. Do you see it?
The lights coming on in all the buildings.
Yep. Do you actually see it over there, the Tennessee monument?
Oh yeah.
Watch out for the dog droppings. Dog droppings? Goose? I don't know. Well, hopefully he didn't step in them.
We were at some kind of, what's it called? We walked on a path last time we were here. It was down just a little bit further. I think it's actually down where that red barn is.
Yeah, that's
the red building is.
it's not the Gettysburg farm, but it's in our farm.
That one
Yeah,
had a much nicer trail, but I think it was a horse trail.
yeah,
'cause
it's
there
a
was-
horse trail. That's exactly what that is.
It was a little bit hard. We had to watch our stuff.
Now it does go across all the way across the field too, in a different spot.
I think we've done enough
It's a shorter trail.
hikes across the.
Oh, I'm not going across the field again. At least not.
I don't
This
think we
time.
have time.
Huh?
I don't think we have time. To do that.
No, I'm pretty much done. Like I said, if we did anything, it's probably gonna be the quick observation tower, but that's it. Then I think it's time to eat.
Yep.
By the way, for those